Hello and welcome to the Inagi Observer. My name is Steve Gerhardt, and this week we're going to talk about one of my favorite mangas, the Kurosagi Corpse Service. I really love this manga. Now, I've briefly touched on this manga a few years ago as part of a omnibus episode, and we're just really talking about a minute or two about this manga and really liking it. I want to give it a little bit more detail this time around. This is written by Eiji Atsuka, and it's drawn by Husai Yamazaki. My Japanese is really bad, so I kind of have to read it as I pronounce it, or try to pronounce it. Anyway, so Yamazaki's artwork on this is very different from most manga. You don't have the atypical comic style, wide eyes, that kind of stuff for the manga. This is more slice to life, more proportional. It is very detailed in certain places, and while there are comedic effects within it, it's all pretty well drawn. Actually, I think you'll like the artwork in this. Now, it was written by, like I said, Eiji Atsuka, and Atsuka is the reason for this manga is because of his experience with watching a family member die of cancer, and he actually writes it, and it's in one of the volumes. I forget which volume where he actually talks about it, and it influenced his way of writing about spirits, moving on to the afterlife, death, regrets in life, things like that. And so that's kind of what this manga is about, but in a sort of weird comedic slice of life, gothic Guro kind of way. Yes, there's Guro in here. It's actually a very healthy dose of Guro. So this is not a kid's manga book. Okay. Now, the way that these stories happen is that there is no, and as you get into later volumes, like towards the ones that was recently released in May of 2018, you start to see longer story arcs. Up until that point, about then, the story arcs were really within the chapters, and they were serialized starting in 2002. So each chapter, while they kind of build, each chapter in any story builds on the previous one. Not so much these guys. Each chapter is its own story. The only building is within the characters themselves as you learn a little bit more about the characters. But there's no real overarching plot to Kurosagi Corpse Service until later on, and which just kind of makes it as an easy read. And so that's why, that's why I say it's an easy read. It's enjoyable. It's quick. It's easy. And like I said, the graphics are amazing, but very adult. Adult issues, death, dismemberment, literally, incest. Unfortunately, that's actually the first chapter. But it is a very good. If you like horror, this is a very good series. Kurosagi Corpse Service is a very good fix for that. There are the main characters are Sasaki. Okay, so first of all, these are groups, students in a Buddhist university, which it turns out to be a mediocre Buddhist university, and they're all taking classes. They're all there for various reasons, and the majority of them are already in this Kurosagi Corpse Club as a club for the school and to get extra credit. And this one character, Karatsu, meets up with them in one of the famous suicide forests in Japan. I'm not going to try to say it because it's really hard for me to pronounce it, but you know which one I'm talking about. So here are the characters as they list down. Sasaki, who is the hacker, and she's a computer genius hacker. She's really into morbid stuff, particularly dead bodies. She runs a chat room called the Corpse Chat, and she does a little blackmail from time to time. She's the one who came up with the idea for the club to be able to make them money. Okay, just gonna leave it at that. Then you have Numara, who is probably my favorite character. He's a dowser. A dowser is a person that takes like a pendulum, and depending on how the pendulum swings, they find something. Well, his power is that he can use dowsing to find corpses, so he can find bodies that way. Then you have Makino, who is the only one that actually studied abroad in America to learn how to be an embalmer, which is unusual in Japan because most Japanese are cremated. So it's an unusual talent, but it's something that she does, and she picks up part-time gigs at the local army base, U.S. Army base. There's another character named Yada, who's kind of like the Otaku of the group, sort of. And you never see his eyes because his hair is always in his face. And he's got a sock puppet who makes up another character called Karis Yada. And supposedly the puppet is the embodiment of the spirit of an alien that died on Earth. I think I got that right. And this alien talks through the puppet, supposedly. And Yada claims that he's not talking, it's not him talking, that's the puppet talking. So that creates some comedic relief. The final character is Keratsu, who becomes the leader of the group. He is actually trying to be a Buddhist priest, so that's his thing. So he actually has knowledge of Buddhism, which is kind of neat in the story because you actually get a little bit more of a feel of Buddhism in this manga. And his power is pretty cool in that he can touch a dead person, and as long as he's touching, depending on how long that person's been dead and how long the spirit has been trapped inside the body, he can communicate with that dead person. And when that person communicates to him, he automatically verbalizes what the dead person is saying. So he's speaking for the dead. It's kind of cool. So anyway, they decide that they're going to make money by using all their talents so that when Numano finds the body, Karatsu puts his hand on it, and they figure out what's wrong, why is the soul still trapped in the body, and then the rest of the story is to help the corpse. And they receive some form of payment. Usually not that much. It's usually like a lottery ticket, $10 underneath a pillow, something like that. You get the idea. So it's a really good, it's just an easy story. It's very graphic. You talk about serial killers, you talk about, like I said, incest, you talk about, and it shows it. Like it shows the nitty gritty. There are other characters from other similar genres that go in and out of Kurosagi Corpse Service. And that's kind of neat too, but I don't want to spoil that for you. So it's been on and off production since May 2002. Last one was in May 2018, and who knows when the next volume is going to come out. They're all very entertaining. I suggest you take a look at it. If you want to really get a taste for this, go to your local library, see if they have it there. Get it for free, which is a great way to check out manga and anime if you don't want to pay for it. And if you like it, great, then you know where to go. And once they don't have enough issues, then you can go online to buy it. At least it'll tell you whether it's not. By going to a library, you'll know whether or not it's worth the time and the effort. So if you do like it, which I think you will, go to Dark Horse Comics. Dark Horse Comics bought the rights to publish it here in America. Now, the first few volumes are going to look like this, with recycled brown paper. The later volumes look more like more traditional manga volume books. They're sleeker, glossier, to cut down on cost. So what am I telling you? I am telling you to check this out. It's a really good book, and it's a really good manga series. So, but it's adult. Remember, it's adult. It's not for kids. Definitely not for kids, but you'll like it. All right. So that is it for this week. Thank you again so much for coming here and watching this. If you like this video, please like it. That would be really cool. And if you like what I do overall, please subscribe. I would love it if you subscribe. Please subscribe. Don't forget that if you're interested in doing an AMV contest here in Baltimore at an actual location with prizes, yes, with prizes, let me down below or message me somehow. Okay, again, this is the Unagi Observer. My name is Steve Gearhart. Thanks again for watching, and see you guys next time.